give you a lead. Don't leave the lecture, except you guys basically can plan, design, implement, and evaluate a project using the design that I'm going to give you. All right? So we all get to dress it together in immunology, in biology. But this
I'm
is
sure it says YOLO.
okay? This is a technical training. It's got nothing to do with biology per se. I'm not going to tell you about chromosomes or cells or animals or behavior or physiology. No. I'm going to tell you what needs to be undertaken before we can actually do this thing here called log frame approach. I'm going to tell you about problem trees, objective trees. I'm going to tell you about logic. We're going to develop strategies. We're going to make some assumptions. Tell a little bit about those
I'm sure
assumptions.
it says YOLO.
And ultimately, you're going to develop a log frame matrix. And you better pay attention because you are going to develop a log frame matrix.
Yay! Let's do it.
The reason why we're doing this course and the reason why I'm putting this lecture into this course is it fits in with the strategic plan of the university. And it speaks to the attributes of the graduate, which all you guys are going to be in a couple of months' time, okay? Yeah, you all think you're here to learn stuff, to learn academics and whatever, but one of the attributes, I mean, at least the second attribute after academia are skills. So I'm going to teach you a skill. You're going to be more skilled when you leave here tonight. All right?
Thanks.
You're going to have something you didn't have before. You're going to be different. All right? There are personal and professional qualities. We talked about some of those come from human biology and whatever. We're going to concentrate on the skills. All right? Now, what on earth is the logical framework? You think of yourself as some kind of structure, and it's logical, and you would be right. All right? It's called log frame, just in the trade, or LFA, logical framework approach. Okay? It's actually more than 50 years old. I don't come here tonight to tell you about some 50-year-old thing. I want to tell you about what it is right now. But it started really on private sector management theory back in the 60s with the white shirts and the black ties and whatever. Mostly white men, but then other guys got involved, and it now is a global process. It was actually formally adopted for the very, very first time by the United States USAID. And of course, some of our labs here in zoology are actually USAID funded. Thank you very much. And we're glad we fitted into your little LFA that all you guys pondered over and decided. Anyhow, it's a planning tool. So the planning tool that we actually submitted was LFA. It's kind of like a code, a means of communication. It's a language. So if all of you can see is LFA, I can promise you the government of Jamaica, as they're dealing with the IMF, they produced an LFA. Who did that? The technocrats in the government.
Oh,
You don't even know their names. But we needed people in government to produce LFA, so the technocrats in IMF, we speak to the technocrats in IDB, we speak to the technocrats in World Bank, they're all talking LFA language. It is English, but it's LFA in terms of its structure. Now, I haven't come here tonight to tell you guys how to think. It's an aid to thinking, that's the whole idea. And nobody's trying to challenge anybody's creativity. I'm trying to give you a structure. Not everybody agrees with it, but many, many do. All right? The whole process involves analysis and planning and various sub-levels within that. And we'll go into that as we go ahead. This is what we're aiming for. At the end of the day, okay, we have this thing here called a log frame matrix. Now, don't rush in, because fools rush in. All right? The very first thing fools do whenever they're developing a project, says, give me the LFM, give me the log frame matrix. And they start to fill in what the goal of the project is, and what its purpose is, and what the outputs are, what the activities are. And guess what? They're doing it ass about face. You don't know what the hell they're doing. They're doing, you have to decide what you're going to do to achieve the outputs, to achieve the process, to achieve the goal. It's a hierarchical thing. It's very, very difficult to do that de novo. Then you need performance indicators. And then you need independent verifiers of that. All right, you're building something at home, you're putting on a bathroom. The performance indicators might be the men at work. You see the fellas at work and they're moving blocks around the place. They must be putting a new bathroom onto your house, right? So what's a verifier? Then you take a photograph of the new bathroom, right? That is actually there, and you send it to grandma who paid for it in the first place or whatever. You with me? The independent verifier. Not the fact that the workmen were there building, that doesn't mean nothing, and you all know that, right? So that's what I mean. So performance indicators would be the guys doing the work,